Published 5:35 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 17th of April 2018. Updated 6:07 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 17th of April 2018. If Paul Pogba and Manchester United expected his agreed departure from Old Trafford to have turned the world of Spanish football upside down, they would be very disappointed. In Madrid they are still talking about the Lucas Vázquez penalty against Juventus, yes really, and in Barcelona the focus is on another midfielder, Andrés Iniesta, in his imminent announcement that he will be leaving Barcelona at the end of the season. He is likely to confirm his departure after this weekend's Copa del Rey final. At one point in the past, Pogba might have been seen as a possible replacement for Iniesta. He could certainly occupy the same left-of-three midfield berth, but his opportunity has gone, and Barca have Philippe Coutinho and the Brazilian Arthur primed to step into their captain's boots. Midfielder Paul Pogba seems to be on his way out of Manchester United in the summer, but it is unlikely that either Barcelona or Real Madrid will want to sign the France international. Back in 2015 there were presidential elections at Barcelona, and as a part of Josep Bartomeu's successful candidature, European football assessor Ariado Breda and sporting director Alberto Sola were pictured with Juventus directors having supposedly agreed to buy Pogba a year later in 2016, as a ploy. It won a few votes because 3 years ago Pogba looked like football's next big thing, ready to leave Serie A and fulfill his potential at a big Spanish or English club. But there was no pact to buy him in a year, and Barcelona never followed through on their interest. It was a year later, in 2016, that Real Madrid were alerted to his ongoing desire to leave Juventus, and Real Madrid coach Zinedine Zidane was keen on the signing. There was a time at which Pogba could have played in midfield for Barca boss Ernesto Valverde. Josep Bartomeu used interest in Pogba to gain votes during the 2015 presidential election, but Real Madrid president Florentino Perez has never had a very good relationship with Pogba's agent Mino Raiola, never bought a player from him, and was not totally enamored with Pogba either. There was some interest, but as soon as Manchester United joined the bidding and it became clear it could cost well over £100 million to sign him, that his agent's cut would be record-breaking, and that his wages would dwarf those of his new teammates, Madrid decided not to pursue any deal. 2 years on from Madrid's interest and 3 years on from Barcelona's interest, little has changed. Pogba is still represented by Raiola. He would still want his Manchester United wages matched at Madrid, his transfer fee would still be high, and his representative would also be looking for another big percentage. There have always been issues between Real Madrid and Pogba's agent, Mino Raiola. Zidane's interest remains, and if he wins a third straight Champions League, then he may well have a freer rein in the transfer market than ever before. But it still looks unlikely Madrid would move for Pogba. The poor relationship with Raiola goes back a long way. A year earlier, when the talk was at that Barcelona switch, Madrid then-coach Carlo Ancelotti publicly distanced himself from a move, and Pogba's agent was quoted in L'Equipe as saying, "Madrid buy players the way some people buy bath towels and then throw aside. We are not interested in a club like that. Zinedine Zidane is interested in Pogba, and Real could sign him if he has a good World Cup." A year earlier, James Rodriguez had been bought by Real Madrid on the strength of his World Cup wonder goal for Colombia against Uruguay. Raiola added, "Madrid is a club that buys a player just because he plays 6 games well in the World Cup. The bad feeling doesn't make the move impossible, and an incredible World Cup from Pogba might change things, but it looks unlikely." But the other major obstacle was the financial one. Both Real Madrid and Barcelona have new stadiums projects to finance, and so far neither has found a naming sponsor sugar daddy. Madrid would somehow find the money if it meant getting Neymar, but entering a bidding war with, for example, Paris Saint-Germain for Pogba appeals to them far less. But both clubs have stadium projects to finance, and Pogba is low on the list of priorities.